We are doing our latest Porchcast in this incredible setting here with Captain Leonard aboard the Grace, this incredible, beautiful motor yacht that's got an incredible history, I think. And I'm feeling especially privileged to be sitting here with you, Captain Lee, and just on what we'll call that's the aft deck of the Grace, but we'll sort of technically call that a porch for the purpose of our Porchcast.
And why not?
Welcome. It's just great. It's great to be with you.
Welcome for you, and welcome aboard, Grace. It's always a privilege for any of us to be on this boat, really.
Yeah. Today is I've seen this incredible yacht up and down the May River from the backyard and our backyard porch many, many times. I've never been on board.
Nice.
And I think the name is what resonates the most with me, because when I see her, and I'll just tell you this, and you're captaining along with your passengers and that sort of thing, and your vista is incredible. We pause what we're doing when we see her come by, because she is so graceful. She is just so beautiful. And I want to talk about the history of how she was designed and when she was built and all that. And I know you've got that. So let's roll into that. Let's start with the name. Where'd the name come from?
The name is consequential. She's actually named after Grace Wilson Vanderbilt. Grace Wilson was the youngest sister of R.T. Wilson, who bought and named Palmetto Bluff in 1903. Okay, so she was the youngest sister of R.T. Wilson, fell in love with and married Cornelius Vanderbilt III.
Okay.
So Grace's significance is that she was the most sought after, quoted socialite in the Gilded Age. She was kind of known as the queen of the Gilded Age in New York. And she was known as the party girl. She was a very attractive woman.
Yeah.
Married a little bit later in life than was traditional at that point in time.
Sure.
And so quite the socialite, quite the party girl. So having the boat named Grace ties her to the history of the Palmetto Bluff property, but also connotes most boats should have a Dubonton as a name. So having her as our matriarch, and Grace, obviously she is such a graceful boat. It just, and is graceful to see her on the water.
It's so apt from my perspective. And of course, people see images in our video about that. If you're not familiar with her, we're going to get to how you can get to be more familiar with her. Was that always her name?
She's had 4 names in her history. She is 112 years old.
Okay, so that going back to the year 1913?
Woodrow Wilson was president. Grace is one of the very last, maybe 2 pre-World War wooden motor vessels in commercial service anywhere in the country today. So we are truly honored and blessed to have Grace here in the Lowcountry for everyone to enjoy.
And how long have you been captain on Grace?
So Grace has about a 20-year history here in the Lowcountry. Mm-hmm. And previous to that, had a decade in the 90s as the icon of the Cloister.
Oh, yeah.
Resort
in Georgia.
Sea Island, Georgia.
Yeah.
She was there from about 1990 to about 2003. And
was she doing something similar?
Very similar to this. So when Palmetto Bluff was starting up in the early 2000s, they wanted something like this. It just turned out that she became available, and they purchased her in 2003.
Was she in good repair, ill repair, someplace in between at that time? And
somewhere in between.
She needed some work since then?
Grace has a long history of thriving and then flirting with absolute abandonment. She's been abandoned several times in her life.
Hard to believe,
and
right?
Each time someone just is taken with her and undertakes the mission to restore. In the late 80s, she was discovered by Earl Macmillan, and Earl has a shipyard up in Rhode Island.
Okay.
And so she had been abandoned for over 20 years in Maryland, and he undertook a major restoration and basically brought her back to life, and then ended up leasing her to Sea Island, to the cloister of Sea Island.
And has she had some work since then? Some touches up here and there?
Yeah. So it turns out Grace is a very high maintenance girl. In fact, my wife has accused me of having an affair with a much older woman. So restoration on a boat like this is a constant process. It's not a finite one and done kind of thing. So we undertook a mission. Basically, what happened was she outlived her ability to be managed as a corporate asset. She was owned by the developer that owns Palmetto Bluff for many years, fell into disrepair. Don't need all the details of that, but was essentially discarded, abandoned. And a group of us got together and formed a nonprofit called the Grace Club, with the intent of restoring her and putting together a sustainable business model that, on a break-even basis, that provides an endowment so that we can keep her going well into the future.
How many folks are a member of that organization?
So we have about 150 members currently, from the local communities, most of which are Palmetto Bluff, but we have members from Windmill Harbor, for example, the town of Bluffton. Anyone who's interested can get involved in the Grace Club, and we do social cruises several days a week. Typically a Friday evening sunset cruise, full moon. We have a full moon cruise tonight. In fact, we have the Beaver Moon tonight. The closest the moon's going to be to the Earth all year. So
read about it.
Very, very special event.
But before we go into that, was there a time when the Grace Club purchased the boat and put it where she is, where it was more exclusively available for people in Palmetto Bluff, or with the Montage? You'd mentioned it was sort of an asset of Palmetto Bluff.
It was kind of an amenity of Palmetto Bluff, and I think that was the early vision of the developer, to have this boat that the residents and hotel guests could take out and do, the booze cruise. I think when we undertook setting up the nonprofit and taking over the restoration and maintenance and operation of the boat, we really wanted to make her available to everyone in the region, right? So she's just such a unique experience that we wanted to make sure that she became available to anyone who was interested.
So let's get after that.
So
that's the key component, not only of this amazing history that it's had, and brought it right here into the Lowcountry, and so fitting. But now people have the opportunity to come aboard, and you've really systematized that. The club has really systematized that. So this is a public offering. You got a schedule online, right?
We do.
And it, based on what I saw online, I'll let you speak to it. It looked like there was a fair amount of availability, meaning it wasn't just, hey, on Wednesday nights for the booze cruise is when you can come aboard. She's got a pretty hefty available schedule. Is that right?
She does. We typically do 2 to 3 social cruises, which you basically buy a seat on the boat. We can take up to 26 people on a cruise, and we offer catering. It's all bring your own booze, right? So people bring a glass of wine or a bottle of wine and share. And it's very informal, very social. You find that the way the boat is set up, people tend to wander around and mingle, sit here on the aft deck, go up on the foredeck, grab some food in between. So we always do the catering, and you bring your own adult beverages, and then we also offer private charters. So you have a special family event, a corporate event. You can charter the boat and have it for your special event.
Is that always going to be based right out of this dock? Do you ever have it where you're willing to go to another public dock or facility where you can pick people up?
We do within reason. So, for example, we've done cruises out of Windmill Harbor.
Sure.
And it's close by here. We can do Harbor Town. So ports that are close by, we can do. Savannah gets a little bit further out. It's several hours to get there and back.
And so when people are on board, they're expected to have this journey through the inland waterways, sort of as you said, between Hilton Head, Defusky, Palmetto Bluff, Old Town Bluffton, et cetera. Is that pretty much where she's comfortable?
We do. We have several options. We go on the May River, either on the inland side, which is kind of up toward the head of the May River, past Old Town and the church and the Oyster Company and all of that. or we can take it on the outside and go out toward Calabogie Sound
Okay.
and Hilton Head. We do in certain times of the year we do runs out to Harbor Town.
Okay.
If the tide is just right and the weather's just right, Captain Adam can steer her through a little cut called the Savage Cut into Savage Creek and then into Bull Creek and out toward Defusky that way. That is the most rustic. There's almost no homes. You don't see anything but
it's beautiful.
but trees and marshland.
And dolphin and everything else you'd expect to see. So is that a little bit weather dependent? I mean, you're going to stick to the cruise, but do you ever have times where you've got to basically cancel or it's not worth going out on the boat on those?
Typically, it happens more rare than you might think, and it typically has to do with thunderstorms.
Okay, sure.
Wind and rain, within reason, we don't really worry about. We're fully enclosed, as you can see.
Yeah.
So if the rain comes, we just draw the windows shut.
Yep.
If it's nice and beautiful, we open them up and let the breeze waft through. Some of the most special are in the kind of the shoulder seasons where it starts to get cold, maybe even a little rainy, and you kind of close it up and you got 25 people and it's all cozy and warm and you feel like a cocoon.
She's not a beamy boat, right? So what is her beam?
Her beam is a little over 12 feet.
Okay. So
and about 60 feet long.
If you're inside, it's not tight, but it's cozy.
It is.
So I think even that environment where people are inclined to be inside, it's just an incredible environment.
It's hard to walk past somebody without saying hello.
You're going to meet somebody new and so that's up to 26 people is per booking.
Correct. Our certificate of inspection from the Coast Guard is for a total of 28. We carry 2 crew.
And technically she's got a head on board so people can be comfortable.
She's got a marine head and downstairs includes a cabin, a head, a salon, which is the living room, a little galley, and an engine room.
And so some people might actually navigate themselves downstairs.
Oh, we encourage it. It's all original mahogany, Honduran mahogany downstairs. Looks just like it did 112 years ago.
Wow. And how long is a typical cruise?
Typically 2 hours. On private cruises, we've done up to 4 hours or more.
Okay.
Where we maybe do a stop at Harbor Town. So it just really depends on what you want on the private.
So that would be the private charter would be, listen, we want to block it out for a certain period of time.
Exactly.
This is what we want to do. We want some food, we want some drink, whatever that is, and you'll tell them, hey, this is what the final bill is going to be on that.
So yeah, it is. We don't try to upcharge any catering. In fact, we have a group of caterers, local artisans that we contract with, actually that you contract with.
Yeah.
They're just listed on our insurance and they know the limitations of the boat and enjoy working on the boat. And so we have a half a dozen caterers that you can choose from based on whether you want just a charcuterie or you want a full. And we've had some full-on amazing catering on this boat.
And what are your typical hours of operation? What's the inside window, the outside window? Is it not?
We do everything from sunrise cruises to more typically, we call them twilight cruises.
Okay.
So we go out a couple hours before sunset. Yep. You see the sunset and you come in, just after that. But
she's not out after dark much, is she? It's not a great time to be out on the water.
We do the fireworks display every year, of course.
Yeah.
So we're definitely out there. This time of year, we start getting into even some dock charters in the evening. People want to have a dinner reservation, maybe have a group dinner reservation at 8 o'clock.
Sure.
And they'll come down here and we'll open up the boat and have a private, what we call a dock charter, where you can just party on the boat at the dock for an hour before dinner.
She doesn't leave. She's just right here.
Right. And it's just a beautiful environment. We get the stereo cranked up and we've got a beautiful lighting system and it just makes a very special environment.
And that's a safer way to enjoy maybe the darker hours of the evening.
When the sunset now at, 5 o'clock. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. So what's the website people can go to see that menu of opportunities?
It's www.thegraceclub.org. Yeah, don't forget the because it turns out the graceclub.org is an Ibiza party website, and that's not us.
That's a different kind of grace.
That's a
right?
different kind of grace.
I got it. Well, it has just been a privilege, honestly, just my first time on board to be on board. And I encourage everybody that's watching to take and create that opportunity to be with you, Captain Lee and Captain Adam, and whoever else is in charge of this amazing vessel, and just tap into this really unique offering, I think, in the Lowcountry.
She is very unique. Again, just 112 years old. She's been witness to a murder. She's definitely haunted. The term showboating was coined on this boat in the 1920s. A smash hit Broadway play was written on this boat. A Hollywood movie called Showboat. So she's got a lot of great stories.
Well, you're a good salesperson, Lee, because you've got everybody intrigued. They want to hear those stories. I know they hear those stories when they're aboard the Grace, right? From you and from everybody else.
GraceClub.org is where you go to get all of it.
I love it. Well, guys, there you have it. This is the Grace. This is Captain Lee. An incredible spot right here in the Lowcountry. Y'all need to check it out.
Cheers and welcome aboard.